Thanks to EA for the MySims game code. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sofia and as you can see my sim is talking to Chef Gino. We met him in the previously episode and he asked us to do two things, to build a chair and to build a table. Right now my sim will go to that garden area where the trees are so she can harvest red apples and green apples as well. Every time my sims go there, she tries to water the trees and to fertilize the trees so she can get more fruits. Since I do believe that moving on, we are always going to need them and we are going to build a lot more things. As you can see, Chef Gino just asked for two things right away. So I am thinking that the first couple of videos that I did, it was like a warm-up, and from now on it will be always a lot of things that they need to build, or at least it's what I think from what I can see right now. And as I was saying, she's checking all the things that she needs to complete the tasks or the missions, if you will, and I am keep checking that. But since she's already at the garden, I think it makes sense to collect as much fruit as possible, and also maybe the flowers. If she talks with Poppy again, maybe Poppy will need something, and Poppy, it's the florist, she always loves things with the flowers, so we will see about that. But right now my sim is collecting as many red apples and green apples as possible. She's doing everything she can to get more, but as I said, it's something that she will need on the workshop. It's one of the things that is a bit annoying to me because you need to add the fruits or the flowers while you are working on the workshop, and for some reason I think it's a bit silly, and you will see why in a second, because sometimes it's very difficult to place it right next to whatever you are building. So I'm not sure about that. It's not my favorite feature about my Sims, and I have talked about this many times. But oh well, everything else looks great, I think. And it's a very good game, don't get me wrong. I actually think it's very funny. And Chef Gino was having a picnic. But now we are back at the workshop, and so there are two blueprints for the share, and I wasn't sure, so I tried to see what the second one was about, and I believe this was the mayor that gave us this blueprint, and I don't think it will look good on Chef Gino's restaurant, so I went back and decided to go for the first blueprint, the first share blueprint, and try to see how that looks. And I do believe that is the blueprint that we used in the first episode, or in the first video that I made ever about my Sims. And that first video was a bit chaotic, but this one I think it went much better. I am doing better at the workshop, and once again I speed up this part. I will speed up the workshop builds from now on, because sometimes it takes a little bit, like as you can see, I need to place the green apples there and it takes forever, they look weird. I really don't like this part, adding the fruits on the workshop, but I think that the share looks okay. Nothing like in the first video that I ever made about my Sims. So now we are doing the table, and I went for the basic table as well. As you can see, there's nothing wild about that. It's very basic, but I think it will look great at Chef Gino's restaurant. Once again, I will speed up everything. You need to always reach the stars to complete whatever you are working on in the workshop. And once again, here I am adding the apples. In this case, I think you were able to add it on top of the table, but in some case you are not, so it gets weirder in my opinion, and I really don't like it. But let's deliver the share and the table to Chef Gino and see if he enjoys what we made at the workshop. I hope he enjoys it, and we will see about that. Where is Chef Gino? I always need to look around, and he doesn't seem to be here. Oh, he just he just got here. Sometimes you need to look for them, and the mayor is also here. Let's give Chef Gino what we just made, which is the table and the chair. And like, I think the entry of the restaurant looks so cute. I didn't want to add the things that I just made because I don't like how the fruit looks on it. So I was trying to hide it in a separate room that the Chef Gino has at the restaurant. You can also turn things around with the keyboard, and that's what I am doing. He is happy with everything we built. It's a surprise because once again I really don't like how the fruit looks right next to the furniture, but oh well. So we will talk with Chef Gino once again to see what he needs, and he gave us more blueprints for a fridge, I think, and other things. But sometimes you need to talk to the MySims more than once for them to give you more tasks, and that's what MySim is doing. And now we have so many things to build at the workshop, like a sink, the fridge, the oven, I believe. So many things. This will be a nightmare because once again you always need to add the fruits and whatnot, and I don't think it looks that great. As I've been saying all along, sorry if I am repeating myself, but it's the one thing about my Sims that it really makes me a bit upset. So my sim is going back to the area around the train station because she needs to find more stones. I have a couple of videos about this already, the previously one in which we met Chef Gino. I also have a short video only explaining this part. So basically you go to the empty field next to the train station, and then you click on the prospect option. You start walking around with your my sim in this case, and when it turns red it shows an option that says dig. You press on dig, and then you can find other things. You can find crayons that will be helpful at the workshop, as I will show in this episode. I found out something very cool about the workshop that you will see in a bit, and I keep checking to see if my sim have everything she needs to create all the things that Chef Gino asked us to do. Once you are done, you click on stop prospecting and you can go back to the workshop or to the place where the townie that you were talking about is. So we will start with the sink, and I was very concerned and curious to see how the sink will look like, because this is completely different from everything that we know. And once again, I always check to see if everything is in the blueprint. If it's not, it gets a bit strange looking. But right now I think everything is going well. In this case, you need to add the stones in the workshop, and so I was trying to see where was the best place to add the stones, and for some reason I don't think it looks very good, but you can tell that it starts looking as a sink. You just need to figure out where you want the other things next. I'm not a big fan of like the things that you need to add to complete the tasks or the missions. I like to complete like the blueprint with the materials that we have at the workshop, and that's about it. I think anything else looks a bit strange. At least it's my opinion. But once again, the game is cute, and I love how my sims interact with each other, and I love how the town is looking like. And now we will try to do the bridge, and there's our two options, two blueprints, but we went with the first one since it's my first time building a fridge in my sims. I have no idea how this will turn out. Once again, this part is speed up, but I actually really enjoying building these. I think so far it's one of my favorite builds in my sims, and I think it will look very good. But again, here's what I found out. while I was building the fridge, I was like, I wish I could give it a different color so it's not wood liking. And so I found another way, as you can see, to add different color. For this, you will need the stones that you collected, or the crayons, or the 8 balls, anything like that. And you can change the color to anything that you like. This was there all along. I only found out while I was building the fridge, and I had a lot of fun. But overall, I didn't have enough things to color the fridge. So at some point, I went back to the wood kind of thing. But I think this part is very, very cool. It's something that I really wanted to change how the fridge looked and stuff like that. And I actually think it looks like a fridge. Don't get me wrong, sometimes some of the things that we build on the workshop don't look quite exactly like I imagine it to be, but I think this one looks. And now I am adding everything to complete this task. So now we are doing the stove. This is by far my favorite appliance that I built in this episode. You will see why in a second. I think it actually looks good in my opinion, at least, and I was trying to hide the stones underneath the other things that we will add, like the blocks and everything. I think this blueprint was actually very nice, and once again you need to reach the stars to complete everything, and it already looks like a stove. But I will change the colors now that I know how to do that. I will change the colors, and I think it will look great at Chef Gino's restaurant. But once again, I'm still learning how to do like the changing the colors situation, because if you don't have enough things to change everything, it looks kind of strange. So I was checking on that, and I decided to went with gray and green. I think the gray looks great with the stove door and everything like that, and the green will look great with Chef Gino restaurant. And once again, you need to add the fruits, and now you can deliver everything to Chef Gino. I hope he enjoys it, because it gave us a lot of work. We need to search for the stones, we need to create everything at the workshop, and now again my sim will talk with Chef Gino. He just made a pizza, and I don't click it on the right option, so now they are doing this weird thing. But it's kind of cool at the same time, I don't know. I was like, what is happening? This is a first in my Sims, but I was finally able to give him everything he asked us to do. So the stove, I think I will add it to the main area of the restaurant, because I actually think that it doesn't look that bad, and the green goes with the restaurant theme and all of that. So there's that. When it comes to the fridge, again, I actually love to build the fridge, but I was trying to hide it a bit more because of the fruits and the stones. I don't like how it looks. And now the sink, I don't really like how the sink looks. It has everything that Chef Gino asked us to add to the kitchen sink, but I really don't like how it looks, and so I was trying to figure out a way to hide it. But once again, in the other room that the restaurant has, it has so much clutter already, so I went back to the kitchen. Chef Gino is very happy about everything, and he gave us new things. Overall, it was a very good episode, I believe. If you enjoy Sims in general, make sure to subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.